the covert narcissist, they're always seen as the victim. They always go out of their way to indoctrinate people to see them as the biggest victim in the world, while they're actively abusing the rest of the population. Highly manipulative. There's a bunch of one-liners I'd love to throw out by various authors and whatnot, but then you'll know who I'm talking about probably. So the fact that I have to be so cryptic and I can't just outright name them, it shows how much power they have. If you name them, then you're the hater instantly. So you can't do that. Doesn't matter that personally, myself, I was absolutely pushed right to the brink of death for months by these people. If I name them, I'll be the hater instantly. Bigot, racist, whatever. There's a certain word beginning with A that they use to discredit their victims, and can't even do that, Can't even use that, because then they'll know who I'm talking about, and then instantly I'll be shut down, It's amazing how many people who have been way down the truth rabbit holes, I don't know, they don't seem to see them. They don't. Again, I'm not saying it's all those people. It's not. I know of one who's definitely for truth. And they acknowledge there's something strange going on with their religion, or whatever you want to call it, that group of people, but they don't know for sure what's up with that. I don't know how many of them are conscious of it. I think they just dismiss it as conspiracy theory. Whenever I talk on this, by the way, if I was to start writing about it really in depth, I'll feel sick suddenly. I'll have bad luck. I'll have my headphones on. I'll walk past a doorknob. The wire of my headphones will catch on the doorknob and it'll break my headphones. Stuff like that. Just really bad luck, or I'll feel really fucking hot in the face and unwell. So I don't know if it's the $1 billion bark collar, recalibrating my, my thought crime. I don't know. I know that would be the very unpopular opinion of what it is, but people would just say it's all in your head, it's PTSD. But for me, that was a hard thing to let go of, the anger for that lot of people. That, again, for the trillionth time, not in this video, but I've just said it over and over before to people. I know it's not all of them, but it's definitely the top ones are just beyond, incomprehensibly evil and wicked. Classic covert narcissist, controlling, the history, controlling the narrative, and they really do Jesus people who expose it. I exposed it for years and years, and I got death threats, and then I guess one of them, I don't know if it was the person who gave the death threat, if they actually did, snitch me out to their connected relative or something, if that's what caused the Zuzetsang, or whether that was just some triggered guy talking shit. But they really come after the few of us that see them and then expose it. You try writing a book on that, no fucking group of people, you're gonna get wasted. I don't know how that Russian guy in the Gulag managed to do it. Maybe they didn't have electromagnetic weapons back then. I don't know. who knows, with all the fake history, who knows if they did or not. You know, when you're over the target, you get the most flack. That's so true. You know, and their smear articles are promoted to the top of Google, you know, to discredit anyone who's talking about certain things and calling them out. They throw their A word at them. And again, you know, I'm not saying they're all like that. I know of like 3 people that I've seen videos from online that are really nice people, really good people, and they're of that lot, but you know, they're not wicked, they're not covert narc schemers. You know, as I say, I went down the rabbit hole, and of course you can't say if it's true or not, but I think there's some massive lies in history around World War II, and say no more. You know, you're not allowed to say any more, it's so well protected. And they'll be like, the excuse is like, oh, it's because, you know, the victims have been through terrible things and it's jarring, it's traumatic for a victim to, you know, to be invalidated and told none of it ever happened. So yeah, I know, you know. You tell it to the targeted individuals, eh? Tell it to people having their brains electrocuted, their nervous systems electrocuted in their own homes. Tell it to people being gang stalked and zerzetzung by the people you're not allowed to name. You know, that's never acknowledged. I totally know how it feels. But for some reason we're allowed to be gaslighted to oblivion and, you know, smeared and told to shut up, but these people never are. You know, that official story that's a giant cash cow, you know, there's certain countries still paying reparations. I think they're still paying it now. Giant cash cow, that's never allowed to be questioned. I'd love to know more on it, you know, but you can't ask. You can't talk about anything much. You're just going to get shut down. You're going to get called all sorts of things. You know, who are the actual supremacists here? I think I damn well know who they are. And it's you know, like a covert narc they project to some other group. Often the group calling them out will be the worst supremacists. They project it onto them and scapegoat them because they saw the real, you know, the real abusers, the real supremacists. I've had like Asian girlfriends, Korean girlfriends, Thai friends, you know, friends of all fucking places, you know, all ethnicities, and definitely not a racist, but I do notice patterns. And yeah, I did too much research and I paid dearly for it. And it's been a very hard thing to let go, especially just seeing all the endless bullshit from these people in power. And again, it's not all of them for the trillionth time, you know. But I would never probably trust. I'm very fucking wary, put it that way, of people with certain last names. Immensely wary, and for some reason it's people in Eastern Europe that know. They're more aware of it than we are in the West. They and I say this because I remember before I even realised any of this stuff, like about 10 years ago, I was on a fishing trip and I was talking to one from this certain country in the Middle East you're not allowed to name. You know, we were just having a friendly chat and he was being very friendly, kept calling me the G word. I can't say it because then you know, I can't, then it will be clear who I'm talking about. I'll probably get shut down and lose my account. But he was being all friendly, but I think he was just treating me like I was, you know, a little, like, cattle slave. He was mocking me, basically, the way he was treating me. And I didn't realise at the time until I looked up, like we're having dinner, and he was saying, "Oh, you're eating out of the pot. Oh, you don't eat out of a bowl. Oh." And he's just treating me like I'm a cute little monkey, basically. And it wasn't until I glanced up and I saw this Eastern European guy, and he was kind of like glaring at the guy from that country you're not allowed to name, glaring at him. And I thought, whoa, what's this about? I wonder, why is he giving him this hateful gaze? But I think I understand it now. They, from a lot of it in Eastern Europe, they know a lot more than we do in the West. I guess it's history, They've had a worse history than we have, yet. I'm saying what I'm saying for damn good reason. Like, I had 8 months of being absolutely fucking, like, professionally terrorised by this motherfucker from a certain place you're not allowed to name. And he was smirking and laughing because he's above the law. They're all, above the fucking law when they're powerful like that. I got really triggered here in the park once. They had the Memorial Day for the thing you're not allowed to name or question, and there was literally like 10 policemen standing all around the there's a peace monument in the park. They're all standing around that, and 10 cops or more, a dozen cops, for this one very powerful person with the last name you better not say. And he's giving the rhetoric, the propaganda that can't be questioned, that's a massive cash cow, that's a massive weapon of guilt, destruction, and covert narcissists. They have a narrative, you can't question it, they're the eternal victims. Even when they fuck you up and murder you, or give you a brain injury, you're not allowed to talk about it because you're a crazy, hateful bigot, racist. It's all you, project scapegoat. And they'll spray a false flag on the place they're living at as well while doing all their drugs, and yet you're the druggie. They'll spray a big old swastika on that house, and the stupid G people, can't say what the G is because then it'll be too obvious who I'm talking about. The stupid G's will just parrot, it's the Nazis, it's the Nazis. Fucking like incomprehensibly wicked manipulators. Now I do hope that fucking get dealt with. Just end their covert abuse. So I really hope they don't dodge their, slink out of it and scapegoat and project, and really hope they get seen for what they are. Again, I know it's not all of them. I understand. I don't know what percentage of it is. I don't know. We're never allowed to talk about it, are we? Just get smeared and shut down, and the flying monkeys are manipulated around to attack you. I don't know if Mel Gibson's legit, not sure. Everyone says, he's just an actor, he's playing a part. He played it really fucking well. I was basically acting out like Mel. Maybe it's true, he's allowed to do, he's allowed to live and play his part to expose them. I don't know. Maybe he does have some divine protection, who knows, but it's just another topic. It's a lonely thing to get fucked up by these people, and then you're left to stew on it for years, The first few years was so agonising. And you see, you turn on the TV and the propaganda's everywhere for the them people. You go to a cinema. I go to a fucking cinema with my pop, just trying to do something that's can actually bond a little bit, and then it's International Film Week, and it's from that country. It's all the propaganda for that country. You know, for those people, it's all theirs. It's a whole week for their propaganda. In New Zealand, of all places. I guess maybe it's on in all the Western nations. A little shout out to Ahmed Mohsen. No one's probably ever heard of him, but he's a legend, that guy. AhmedMohsen. He calls them out repeatedly. He's getting absolutely like brain fried by the technology. You know, the technology that one country is very specialised in for some reason, because they nick it all from everywhere. He keeps calling them out. So he's a legend. I don't bother much anymore because it's not worth it. You know, unless I'm going to get some grand prize in the afterlife, which I'm not really confident on. But it just doesn't seem worth it. It's been persecuted enough by the eternal victim. But yeah, poor old Ahmed, all his pigeons died. Too much radiation on the rooftop. I think that's where they lived. And you know, he's in that country beginning with P that, you know, he'd better not name. I don't know if I'll post this. I'm fucking tempted to. No, you know, so few people call them out, probably because they know what happens. But if you don't, you know, the censorship works so well. They just dodge. They dodge the spotlight, you know, and their propaganda smear, entertainment prevails, and you know, manipulates the G's to, you know, to sing the song, just like, you know, the sheep were led away to sing the song, like Orwell says. And yeah, they really fucking come after you and fuck you up when you call them out, and so few people ever do. So it's just so easy for them, you know, they pour all their resources on fucking people up, and then, you know, they're totally above the law. It doesn't matter how badly they fuck it up when they're persecuting you and organised stalking you. You know, everyone, all the flame monkey agencies and authorities in that country, they'll just cover it up for them. You know, and then a bunch of other people will say it's all demons or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I can never prove if this guy is conscious of what he was doing. He was just on a giant meth bender. He did seem fucking wicked when he was sober anyway, before he began his meth bender. Anyway, I can see why that Russian guy, or Eastern European guy, was when I was having my fishing trip and camping in the hills. I can see now why he was giving this person from the Middle East, country not allowed to name, who I was talking to, who he was treating me like a stupid monkey, you know, slave. I can see why he was glaring at him, because he probably knew, you know, the history better than I did. And of course, you know, he's painted as smeared as some Slav or some Eastern European racist, but you know, they're better informed than we are in the West. It's a lonely road, you know, realising this shit, getting persecuted by them, and so few people ever see it. You know, most targeted individuals never see it. They just, you know, they'll laugh and say like, oh, you know, you manifested it, or oh, they just sent one of those people because you were looking into that rabbit hole, so they sent that person to terrorise you, you know. But no, it's just, that's who's running the place, you know. They probably are chosen by the God that runs this place. They probably are the chosen. You know, I'm damn glad I'm not chosen, because I'd never want to be like that. Nothing else to say. Hope they don't manage to remain hidden all the time forever. Hope they get totally exposed to everyone.